twos, call the jacks, win the money, pay the tax on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good to have you with us on Card Sharks. Thank you. Hope you're having a good day at home. You're very kind. I'm laughing at that opening poem. Call the twos, call the jacks, win the money, pay the tax. That has to be the most depressing opening poem, but we thank you. Stephen James of Huntington, West Virginia, for that opening poem. Now, let's open the board and get to the cards. Pay the tax. Wow. Janice and Bettina, if you will, load in the cards. As you can see, we have a game in progress with these Card Sharks. Nancy Johnson, our champion. Hi, Nancy.
Hi.
Would you remind us again about yourself?
Right, I'm Nancy Johnson. I live in Sylmar, California, originally from the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. I'm married and I've got a one-year-old little boy.
And you wanted to win money for what reason?
To buy a high chair
to
for.
buy a high chair. And Nancy has now won. Aw, isn't that nice? She's won for her high chair. She's almost there, friends, with this inflation. $8,600 for the high chair, right? That'll buy a nice high chair. That's right.
So.
Our challenger, John Hayes. Hi, John.
Jim, how are you?
Good to see you again.
Nice being here again.
Would you tell us about yourself?
Okay, I'm John Hayes. I live in Carson, California. I'm originally from Mississippi. I'm a pharmaceutical sales rep, and they call us drug pushers sometime. I collect old records as a hobby. I have a couple of Bessie Smith albums recorded in the early 30s.
Oh, you collect the old jazz records?
Oh, yeah, jazz and blues, yes.
Are they hard to find nowadays?
Very much so.
Yeah, it sounds like a good hobby, though.
Yes,
Good.
it is.
Good luck to both of you. We're in the middle of the first game of the match. You both cut the cards, so you're ready to go? Okay, each player has a deck of 52 playing cards shuffled, and they cut them before we go in the air. Nancy, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red cards. John, the challenger, the lower cards, the blue cards. You can see we're in the middle of the game. Nancy needs 3 cards, John needs 4. And before you can get to play the cards, you must win a high-low toss-up question. And John, the question goes to you. We asked 100 men. I like this question. It's so silly. We asked 100 men. If the most gorgeous woman you had ever seen couldn't cross the street without stepping in a giant mud puddle, would you lie down in the puddle and let her walk on you? How many men said they would lie in the puddle and let her walk on them?
You know, Jim, with today's liberation, I don't think too many guys would lie in the mud puddle and let a girl walk across. So I would say maybe 7.
7
yes.
would lie in the mud. Nancy?
I think it's not many men would do it either, but I think it would be just a little bit higher.
You say higher than that.
Just a little.
Well, if it is higher, you'll go to the board first. If not, it'll be John. The actual number of dirty men who would lie in a giant mud puddle and let the gorgeous woman walk on them is 15. It's higher, Nancy. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, God.
Nancy, we left off with a base card of a 7, but when you win the question,
Change
you have the right to change it.
Change
and
it,
she
please.
does want to change it. Here's a card. A jack.
Oh.
Good change.
Okay. I'd say lower.
Lower than a jack? No, it's a queen. It's not lower. So you lose that card, and you give John a chance to play up the 9. You didn't win the question. You can't change the card. Call this, John.
Jim is going to be lower.
Lower than a 9? Yes, so 6.
Right. I'm going to freeze there.
Freezing it right there. We've got a tie. We'll fill in the space. And the question to you, Nancy. Our man on the street went to New York City, where he asked 100 people, do you honestly think that you could do a better job than the present mayor of New York City? How many New Yorkers said they could do a better job than the mayor?
Well, with the economy the way it was in New York, I don't know much about it, whether he was the mayor then, but I would say that 50 would say they...
50 would say they could do a better job. The economy's the same way now, Nancy. John, higher or
Jim,
lower?
with the present crisis they've had in New York City recently here, I'd say more would think they could do a better job.
More of them think they could do the job.
Has to be higher, right.
The actual number of New Yorkers who think they could do a better job than the mayor is 41. It's not higher, Nancy. Wow. Still, a lot of people think they could do a better job. Nancy, you've got a jack. Do you want it?
Yes, and I will go lower again.
Lower than a jack. And at this time, she's got it with an 8.
I have to freeze. I have to.
Have to freeze with that card right up the middle, and Nancy has a 1-card lead.
no.
We are at sudden death. Someone has to win with this play of the cards. John, we asked 100 women in a previous studio audience. Right now, are you wearing lipstick? How many women were wearing lipstick? I am, said one lady out there in the audience.
I think a lot of women are wearing lipstick again. A while back they stopped wearing it. It was going natural. But I would say 70.
70. We're wearing lipstick, Nancy.
I wear it, and I think that a lot of women do. That's usually the most thing they wear is if they don't wear anything else as far as makeup goes.
True, yes.
So I would say that it would be higher.
Even higher than
Yes,
that.
higher.
The actual number of women who are wearing lipstick is 84. It's higher, Nancy.
Okay.
Nancy, you need 2 cards to win the game. John needs 3. Do you want to play it or pass it?
No, I'm passing.
You're passing it. John, you need them all to win. 1 mistake. Nancy wins the game. You've got a 6. Call this.
Jim, I'm going with the odds. The next card is going to be higher.
Higher than a 6. Oh, no, it's another 6. It's not higher, and Nancy wins the first game of the match. She put the pressure on you. And Nancy has the first game and $100. We'll be back for game 2 right after this. And we are back with the first game to the champion, Nancy. And as Janice sets up the cards for game 2, I must tell you, Gene Wood was talking to the audience during the commercial. We have a group with us visiting from New York. And in the audience, remember that question about could you do a better job than the mayor? The mayor of New York City's niece is in our audience today.
Oh, my goodness.
And you know what's doubly funny about that? She was one of the 41 who said she could do a better job. Okay, yes. Second game of the match. We start with a question to you, Nancy. We asked 100 unmarried women, have you ever dated a man who was as old as your father? How many women said they had dated a man as old as their father?
I don't think many have because I've dated about halfway between my father and my age. But I think it would be more like, well, in this day and age, 25.
25 have they dated a man as old as their father, John.
Jim, there seems to be a trend of younger women, older women having younger men, so I think that it would be a little lower.
Gee, I hope you're right, John.
I sure hope so, too.
You say lower?
Lower, yes.
Lower. Now, the question was how many women said they had dated a man as old as their father? So if you say that, are you saying that the trend is towards not dating older men? Or
Right,
dating?
right.
Not dating. Sorry, just wanted to make sure we had your question right. The actual number of unmarried women who said they had dated a man as old as their father is 7. It's lower, John. You got it.
Go.
Wow.
Okay, John. Come on.
John, your base card in a game you need is a 6.
I'm going to change it, Jim.
See if we can improve that with a 2.
All right.
Yes.
The next card is going to be higher.
Higher than a 2. It is an 8.
I'm going to freeze.
Don't like those middle cards.
Don't like
John
those
freezes
middle
right
cards.
there. And a question to you, John. We surveyed 100 housewives across the country and asked them, if your guests were in the next room waiting for their dinner, but you had just dropped the roast onto the kitchen floor, would you serve it anyway? How many housewives said they would serve the roast anyway?
I think considering the length of time that it takes to cook a roast, I would say 80 would serve it anyway.
80 would
Yes.
serve it anyway, Nancy.
Being a housewife and knowing how much meat costs, I won't say if I would do it or not, but I think it would be a tiny bit lower.
Lower.
Just a little.
The actual number of housewives who said they would serve the roast anyway is 88. Yes, John, you got it. It's not lower.
Okay, I'm going to change that, Jim.
I must tell you, I'm sure we've all heard the story of the socialite. It's supposed to be a true story that not in the kitchen, the maid came out with the roast right in front of the guests and dropped the roast. And she very coolly said to the maid, that's all right, take it back and bring in the other one. Good thinking. John, you've got an 8. Do you want to play it?
I'm going to change it.
Changing it to an ace. That's
Right.
good change.
The next card is going to be lower.
Lower than an ace? Yes, with a 4.
Okay, the next card is going to be higher.
Higher than a 4? It is
All
a
right,
queen.
the next card is going to be
To
lower.
tie up the match, lower than a queen. It is a 7, and he's tied it up. Just like that, we've got a tie. Each player with $100 will set up for the tiebreaker. Great comeback there, John, to tie things up. And with the tiebreaker, we'll set up with just 3 cards up there and 3 questions here. Nancy, we asked 100 women who support the women's liberation movement. Have you ever told a man that he was a male chauvinist pig? How many women's libbers had told a man he was a male chauvinist pig?
Well, I'm not a women's libber, but I have, so I think it would be 90.
90 have said, you're a male chauvinist pig, John.
I think women are a bit more outspoken now, but I don't think that many would have told a man he's a chauvinist pig, so I think it would be a little lower.
You say a little lower than
Yes,
that?
yes.
The actual number of women's livers who have told a man he was a male chauvinist pig is 83. It's lower, John. You've got control in the tiebreaker, and you start with a jack.
Okay, I'm going to stay with that card, and the next card is going to be lower.
Lower than a jack. No, it's another jack. There's a break for the champion, Nancy, who gets to play a 5.
Okay, I will say the next card is higher.
Higher than a 5. Yes, with an ace. Lower for the win, Nancy. You got it. Oh, that ace came up at the wrong time for you, John. Thank you. It's been a delight.
It's been a pleasure being
You got
here.
$100 in cash and, of course, some nice party gifts.
Thank you very much.
You're a nice gentleman. John Hayes. Thank you, John. Nancy, come on down here. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Nancy will play the money cards right after we take time out for this commercial massage. And we're back with our champion, Nancy Johnson. Are you ready?
I'm very ready.
You did well the last time. I hope you do better this time.
Oh, I do too.
Good. Let's open the board and get to the money cards. Come on, Nancy. And Nancy, you won $200 in the game. Yours to keep, of course. Now we've got a brand new deck of cards for you, all shuffled and cut, and the seals have been broken. This time you're going to get new money to play with. You're going to bet it, starting on the bottom line. $200, these 3 cards. Bet it as you will. When you move to the second level, another $200, 3 more cards. Minimum bet's $50 till you get to the top card, the big bet, where you must bet at least half the money. Nancy, come on, let's do it.
Okay.
Here's $200. In the game, as in the game, you have a choice of 2 base cards on the bottom level. When you move up to the second level, we give you another chance to change your base card. And again, you can change your base card when you move up for the big bet. Right now, we'll start you with a queen. Do you want it?
I'll bet it all lower.
How much money?
All of it.
All of it right away. The whole $200 lower than a queen. And she's right with a 4. Good card and $400.
I'm going to bet it all that it's higher.
Why are you giggling, Nancy?
Because it's dumb to bet it all.
But you're going to do it anyway, huh, Nancy? I hope you're right.
I do
$400. Higher than a 4? It's not so dumb, Nancy. You got a king.
I'm going to bet it all that it's higher. No, I mean lower.
Yeah, you don't want to say higher. Now,
That's higher than the
see,
other
Nancy,
one.
that would be dumb if you said higher than the king.
No, I'm betting it all that the next card is lower than the king.
Okay, $800. Lower than a king, and yes, with a jack.
Oh,
$1,600. You have cleared the board on the bottom level. We move the jack up. Give you the other $200 of betting money. $1,800. Do you want the jack on this level?
yes, I'll keep it, and I'll bet 800 that the next card is lower.
Oh, easy for them to say. It's your money, yes. $800. That's still a sizable bet. Lower than a jack? Oh no, an ace.
See?
You lost 800, but you've still got 1,000 and
I'll
a
bet
top
it
card.
all that it's lower.
$1,000 lower than an ace. Yes, with a 10. Now $2,000 and a 10, Nancy.
I don't like tens. I will bet $400 that it is lower.
$400 lower than a 10. It is, oh no, it's another 10. You lose 400. We move the 10 up. You've got 1,600 now. Do you want to play that 10?
I want to change it. I don't like
This
it.
is a big change with $1,600 to bet with, and you'll play a 2. Yeah. You must bet 800. You've got 16, Nancy.
All of it that it's higher.
All or nothing. You'll have nothing or $3,200 if this is higher than a 2, and it is another 10. Good comeback. $3,200. Way to go, Nancy. Come on down here. Don't you like changing that base card at the top?
But I love it.
You now have around even $12,000 in cash in 2 wins. We'll be right back, right after that. Yeah, that'll buy a nice high chair. Back with our champion, Nancy Johnson. Nancy,
Yeah.
your husband is not here with you.
No, he's not. I take it he had to work over.
Oh, are you going to go home and tell him that you won $12,000?
You bet.
Oh, you're not going to keep it, huh?
No, he shares his money with me. I share with him.
Isn't that nice? Okay, Nancy, let's get set for another match.
Okay.
We'll load in the cards with 2 brand new decks of cards and meet our next challenger on Card Sharks. Janice Thompson. Hi, Janice. Nice to have you here.
Hi.
Won't you tell us about yourself?
Well, I'm a local girl from the San Fernando Valley. I live in Hollywood now, and I manage a plumbing company. I'm a great manager, and I take real good care of my guys.
A lady plumber?
Yes. I do scheduling and contracts and PR, and I'm real good at what I do.
That's nice. That's nice to feel that way. You should have confidence in whatever you do. Good to have you here, Janice.
Thank you.
You'll
Thank
play
you.
the lower cards, the blue cards, while Nancy plays the upper cards, the red cards. Nancy, we asked 100 bachelors, would you date a woman if you knew she had children by an earlier marriage? How many bachelors said they would date a woman who had children?
I know my husband and I have talked about this before, and he wouldn't. I think it's awful, though. But I think it doesn't really matter to them. I would say 50.
Why did you and your husband talk about it?
Because I have a sister who's divorced.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Didn't mean to get into
No,
family
not because-
things there. Janice, higher or lower?
Higher.
You say higher.
I would say higher because I think if a man loves a woman, I don't think it makes any difference at all.
That makes good sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, we'll find out. The actual number of bachelors who would date a woman who had children is 78. Higher, Janice. Yes. Janice, your base card is a 7. Do you want it?
I'll change that.
Changing it to a king.
Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. Lower.
Lower, lower, lower. Yes, lower than a king. It is a 9.
I'll freeze.
No, she'll freeze. Boy, she acted over that before she decided to freeze. Question to you, Janice. We asked 100 women. Have you ever worn a training bra?
Oh, God.
How many women said yes?
Oh, I did, and I think everyone does, don't they? Yeah, I'll say 85.
Okay, she says 85. Nancy, higher
I
or
think
lower?
it's higher. Everybody has to wear them at one time or other.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I came from a hometown that was so
did.
conservative that you had to have a prescription to get a training bra. So I you say higher though, Nancy. The actual number of women who have worn a training bra is 31. It's not higher, Janice. Not that many. You two may have been the only 2 there. Janice, you've got a 9. Do you want it?
I'll change that.
You'll change that to a 4.
Good. I like that. Higher.
Higher than
Higher.
a 4? Yes, with a 9.
Good. Woo! 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 I'm gonna freeze.
Did you used to be a cheerleader, Janice, at one time?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just wondering. Question to you, Nancy. We asked 100 16-year-old boys, 16-year-olds, did you shave this morning? How many 16-year-old boys said yes?
I know nothing about 16-year-old boys. I would
Well,
say...
did your 1-year-old shave, Janice? Nancy, I'm sorry.
No, he didn't
No,
shave
okay.
this
How many
morning.
16-year-olds said yes?
I would say 40.
40 16-year-olds shaved.
I'm gonna say higher because I think by the time boys reach 16, they shave. Higher.
Higher. The actual number of 16-year-old boys who shaved this morning is 23. It's not higher, Nancy. I heard some high voices out there saying, lower, lower. Nancy, your base card is a jack.
I'll keep it and say lower.
Lower than a jack. Yes, with a 10.
I'll say lower again.
And risking that card in this one, and she's right
I'll
with a
say
3.
higher.
Higher than a 3. Yes, a jack again.
Freeze.
You'll freeze. And Nancy needs 1 card. Janice needs 2. And Janice took a quick look. And Nancy took a quick look. And yes, it is sudden death.
Yeah.
Someone has to win with this play of the cards. Janice, we asked 100 people very simply, do you use a dandruff shampoo? How many people said yes?
I don't think that many people use dandruff shampoo. I will say 15.
15. Higher or lower, Nancy?
I think just a little bit higher. I have no reason I don't use one. I don't know.
Oh, I hope it's not one of our sponsors. The actual number of people who use a dandruff shampoo is 29. It's higher, Nancy. Nancy, you need 1 card. Janice needs 2. Do you want to play it or pass it? Your
No,
decision.
I'm going to pass it.
You're going to pass it. Janice, you didn't win the question. You cannot change that 9. You need both of them to win the game. One mistake and Nancy wins. Call this.
Lower.
Lower than a 9? No, it's a 10. It's not lower. And game number 1 goes to the champion with $100. We'll be right back with game 2 right after we take time out for this. Well, we don't have time to play game 2 right now. You know, you two look like sorority sisters or something.
Sure.
You really do. You're both very lovely, and they'll be back, and we'll play tomorrow on Card Sharks. Bye-bye.
A representative of the studio audience will receive Oneida Silversmith's gift certificate, allowing you to select your own showplace gifts for entertaining and gift-giving needs, including your choice of luxurious stainless flatware and silver-plated hollowware furnished by Oneida. And some of our contestants will receive a True Test Waffle Baker and Grill from True Value Hardware stores, who combine value and personal service in over 5,000 locations nationwide. And a boutique gift set from Miss Breck, America's leading aerosol hairspray. When your hair's the way you want it, keep it that way with Miss Breck. And Quietel Lighting, your choice of one of these brass finished table lamps with bronze highlighting, complements traditional and contemporary settings. And a selection of books from Fawcett, featuring Lament for a Lost Lover, Philippa Carr's passionate new romance set in turbulent Cromwellian England. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks, a Mark Goodson-Bill Todman production.